Well. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Innocent Villains. And if you didn't know, the government is shut down. And why? It's because probably of the Epstein files. Sir, what have you thought after you've just seen all this stuff?
Dude, I mean, so my first thought was like, obviously, we're in a limbo here between going to war with Iran, everything going on with Minneapolis right now, all of, media blowing up right now. And then all of a sudden there's a leak in the Epstein files. Nothing's redacted. And you get a lot of information from George Bush, number one, seeing child dismemberment. I guess Pizzagate's real, and obviously raping underage girls, to President Trump measuring females, little girls, early teenagers with his finger, auctioning them off, all of his family there.
We do have to say allegedly.
Allegedly,
first off.
Correct. Allegedly. Well, I'm telling you everything that's going on in these files. I mean, dude, I don't even know. This is your channel. We can go whatever branch we want to. I mean, to me, right now, the wildest one was that Bill Gates got an STD from allegedly. Bill Gates.
So allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, dude, just insane.
So I'll read that then. So we're going to put everything up on the screen, but I'm only going to read the highlighted stuff for everybody. But here we go. Okay. So this is in an email from Jeffrey Epstein, and then to Jeffrey Epstein, but the subject is Bill. I wonder who. So here we go. To add insult to injury, you then implore me to please delete these emails regarding your STD. Your request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give to Melinda, and the description of your penis. You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to blank, as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. Melinda is Bill Gates' ex-wife. Melinda was the richest woman in the country. She became a billionaire after the divorce. So it starts off, it says, "Dear Bill, I cannot believe that you have chosen to disregard our friendship developed over the last 6 years. I am aware that accidents happen. It is how each of us has been chosen to deal with this unfortunate event that has me dismayed beyond comprehension." Okay, so he starts talking, and we know it's Bill Gates because obviously Melinda Gates. Whoa!
Crazy.
First off, wow.
Crazy.
If true, wow. So what are your thoughts when you read that? Because it kind of makes sense why they got divorced then.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, my first thoughts were, how did Bill pull that off? But obviously, money's power. Having to probably slip antibiotics into your wife's drink to clear up an STD that you got from a Russian. I mean, dude, it's just this is wild, because now these are people in power. People in power, the stories about people in power and what happens when you have money, when you have power. I think that was like the biggest eye-opening part to me is, we obviously have Alex Jones who talked about, everybody, not just Alex Jones, who talked about Pizzagate and why am I blanking on wherever all the rich people go? What's that the place that he... Bohemian Grove. So you hear about all these stories and you're like, I mean, it's far-fetched, it just sounds crazy. But then you uncover these Epstein files and it's like, oh, people that have money, that are rich, that are powerful, like they do crazy shit. Crazy shit.
And we like to think that we're above that, We like to think we're supposed to be the good guys. We like to think our elected leaders are like good people, or at least we thought so back before like social media was so rampant in society. Right. But man, oh man. And this was just the tip of the iceberg too. So Bill Gates was not the only one. That's first off crazy. It's crazy that our overlords and all the people that make our laws are actually the worst people in power.
The worst people.
The absolute worst people in power. I think about what Tucker Carlson said on Joe Rogan last year. Well, it might have been the year before, but he said this is a spiritual war.
Right.
And it's very important to remember that component is true. And we'll see what this does to the government. But in addition to Bill Gates, which is crazy, I want to go to George Bush first, so the senior president from 88 to 92. Okay, so George Bush Sr. was in the Epstein files as well. And again, this is also alleged, but it's very important that we just say allegedly, just in case.
Right.
So this is in an email, and the subject is interviewed of purported Epstein victim. So it's not saying who it's to and from, but it says thanks. And again, I'm going to put this on the screen for you guys. I'm just reading the highlighted part. It says, thanks blank. I didn't realize Bush raped him too. Okay, that's really weird. And then there's a couple points. So I'm going to read this whole thing and then the highlighted part. It says right here, quote, I'd like to add a few other points disclosed by the purported victim. While on his yacht, he witnessed African-American males having sex with blonde females, all of whom were bleeding during intercourse. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. He was also raped by George Bush I. Victim disclosed he was escorted to the FBI building by Michael Moore, who is the creator of True Pundit, described by multiple online sources as a conspiracy-driven news website that attempts to paint the FBI in a bad light. Moore has had a criminal record as a result of FBI investigation.
It turns your stomach.
Fuck!
It turns.
Fuck! Dude!
It's stomach turn. It's disgusting. How? I mean, this is above and beyond. Like, oh, you're rich and powerful. You run you are demonic. This is demonic shit.
Yeah!
Demonic
Holy
shit. Like you
fuck.
just said, it's a spiritual war right now. I mean, that is just, hearing that is disgusting. Allegedly, of course.
I mean, the man's dead. The man has been dead for years. So,
But at this point,
whatever.
do we say good? After that comes out?
I don't know.
I mean, it's...
This is awful. This is the worst thing to happen. And I'm a little bit worried about now what's going to happen to society, right? Because if this is true, I don't know how you prove this, by the way. How do you know if it's true or not? How do you know if they're telling the truth or not?
Right.
Like, that's the most important thing that I want to get at.
And it's not even just, and that's the problem is, it's not like we're just talking about one dead person. Like, this isn't the George Bush Senior files, you know. This has right. Donald Trump. This has Bill Gates. This mentions Elon Musk. I mean, dude, there's just so many big and powerful names that are name dropped in these lists that just make you want to revolt.
And we're going to get to them. But speaking of George Bush Sr., there was an interview with George Bush II, mm-hmm. George W. Bush. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about a story, and this was, I believe this was post-2010, but it might have been somewhere around that time. And he was talking about a story where his mom kept an aborted fetus that she had. Did you hear about this?
No.
I'm going to play this for you. And again, I don't know how long it is. I think it's only like 30 seconds long. It shouldn't be that much. But I'm just going to play this for you, and below the video is going to be the highlighted portion of the Epstein files that I just read to you. But we're going to play this into the camera, and then I will put it in post. Let me DM it to you. All right. Here we go. And again, this is very disturbing.
And one of them is a poignant story you tell about your mom having a miscarriage when you were just a teenager.
Yeah.
And you were the one who drove her to the hospital, and you write, quote, I never expected to see the remains of the fetus, which she had saved in a jar to bring to the hospital. There was a human life, a little brother or sister. You and she had never talked publicly about this story until she gave you permission.
Right.
To write about it in this book.
And that's why you're asking me, because had my mother said, son, I don't want you talking about it, it wouldn't have been in the book. I put the story in the book as a part of the tale. I thought it was very important for people to understand my relationship with my mom.
What'd you learn about her through that experience?
One, she trusted me. And when you're a teenage kid, you know, you can...
Okay. Again, I'm going to read that highlighted portion. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar, but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. He was also raped by George Bush I. Okay, so was that human sacrifice? Because they're saying it was a miscarriage, but everybody online is saying she aborted her fetus and kept it. What the fuck, man?
And how do you even get to keep it?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. But like, Okay, and this was like the Republican establishment family for decades,
Right.
man. They had all the fucking power. And Trump kind of took away their power. But nevertheless, right? Wow.
Right.
Wow. And it just keeps getting crazier. But, like, what do you think the implications are? Like, obviously, if true, his legacy tarnished forever. The whole Bush legacy has already been tarnished, probably.
Oh, 100%.
But wow.
I mean,
But
I think that's
wow.
pretty much what you just, like you said, you just kind of nailed it on the head there. There's really nothing to lose, obviously. At this point in time, the legacy's tarnished and it's over, but I don't know. I mean, now it's emails. There's no proof. So how do you prove it in the court of law? I mean, that's where we're at with these files. We don't have Epstein alive to, go to trial, to name drop these people, to show proof. Maybe we have video footage of this. Maybe it's something that, I don't know. I think the other
I don't want to see the video footage.
No, of course not. But I'm saying in a trial, with proof.
Right.
I think we're in a really bad situation right now where all of this stuff is just out there. And I don't know who's going to investigate it, who's going to drum up the proof of these things, or if all we have are these emails that eventually, without any proof, it's just going to slip away. That's the sad part about it, is you're going to come up on another news cycle where this just continues to get dropped down. And sure, every time, the Bush name is brought up, maybe this clicks in people's heads, but without video evidence, without a trial, without anything like that, I mean, it's almost like everything here right now is just hearsay and alleged. So I don't think maybe we'll get closure out of this, but I don't know. My conspiracy, if you want to put the tinfoil hat on, is that we're sitting here in a position where Minneapolis is going to light on fire like it's the summer of love again. ICE agents are going to continue to go from city to city, which is going to continue to bring out all the leftists, violent protests, probably more deaths. So to deter from all the heat on that, and also to deter on America's inevitable war with Iran, these files were leaked on purpose.
Potentially, but this is not the last of what we found. We also found some reports about Pusha-T and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Now, if you know about Pusha-T and if you know specifically about Jay-Z, you know that there's a story when Rihanna was 16, mind you, so she signed to Rockefeller Records. And to keep her, to entice her to sign with Rockefeller Records, Jay-Z he had Rihanna put up in this hotel, and he locked her outside, and he kept her on the balcony. And he locked her on the balcony until she would sign as a 16-year-old girl, a young girl with Rockefeller Records. Mm-hmm. So if you already knew, he already had these like predatory kind of gangster tactics already. Right. But bro, I'm going to put this on the screen for you as well. And this is important. Okay, so what I'm trying to find it. Here we go. In approximately 1996, blank resided with blank in blank. An unknown man abducted blank from her home, whence she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, who is Jay-Z. While Weinstein had inserted his fingers into blank, believed blank is obviously the victim.
Yeah.
Believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida, so the West Palm mansion that you see in the documentary. Mm-hmm. Okay, continuing on. Blank estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in opulent indoor setting. Blank suffered from sex abuse on multiple occasions in which Epstein participated. Blank recalled Leon Black and William Barr, current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of abuse. In approximately 2006, Blank last recalled being abused by Epstein. Okay, and then we have another page. On each occasion, Blank believed she was drugged, clouding her memory. Blank attributed the drugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, whom she described as persons who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers, Blank identified the artist Pusha-T. In approximately 2007, Blank attended a party, Blank, following investigation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down a street. Weinstein and Pusha-T also attended the party and drugged her before engaging in sexual abuse. Blank claimed to have additional information of other persons involved in the enterprise and information related to racketeering conducted in support of the trafficking. Blank further believed she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of people involved in the sex abuse. Wow. Wow. And so here's the issue with that. Jay-Z, very high up in the NFL, has all of these major deals with these big corporations, very much involved, and he was also very close to Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, not to mention he books all the halftime shows for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like you said,
Right.
with the NFL.
Not to be loud.
Yeah.
Not to be loud. Sorry about that. I'm passionate
Dude.
because the people have to fucking go down.
Right. And I agree. And I'm just almost disgusted when we continue to talk about this and we continue to name drop. It's like, at the end of the day, we feel, men feel sexual desires. And it's almost like every single man at the top gets to take advantage in that way. And like, why is that? Why is that the way? Why is that how the higher class operates almost? You know, why is there even all these sex scandals and all this? I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. We had everything with the Me Too movement and all that. And we saw people go down for what they should go down for, but we also saw a lot of people faking it and making stories up.
Bro, Kanye, did you see that Kanye video? I'll actually play it for you. I have it right here.
Is it the
Kanye
one
was
where he
talking
was just
about
talking
this.
about
Jay-Z.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll play it for you right now.
If you take people like Jay-Z and fucking Pusha-T, they made their living killing our people. So how the fuck they gonna stand up for our people? You know what I'm saying? But we forget that because we love Jay-Z's music so much. We love Pusha's music so much, right? But you think they would ever, Beyonce had the best for somebody else?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think they would ever tell the truth? No, if they told the truth, they'd go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So you have liars.
Man.
Liars are now the face of our culture.
And I mean that encapsulates everything, bro.
It
I will
tracks.
also add there's a song on Donda 1. It's called Pure Souls, and in it he says all my friends love to gangbang. That's what Kanye says. So he obviously knows. He knows about this power structure, bro, but it is just, I don't know what my hair is doing right now. But it is just so insane that this has been allowed to happen for decades. For decades.
Yeah. Well, obviously when you have money, when you have music, when you feel untouchable, I'm like almost making excuses for these absolutely disgusting actions.
And you shouldn't have to,
Right.
man. That's the thing. But like, we don't want to feel like all of our overlords, all of these people in power are the worst people imaginable, doing the most disgusting acts.
Right.
And yet you get a ticket for jaywalking.
Right.
What?
Hey,
You get a ticket for speeding.
the rich get richer. The rich are allowed to do what they want. They're allowed to feel untouchable. That's what this society has
Bro.
basically made these people feel like. And that's what, getting away with this for decades has made these people feel like. And to me, I mean, I don't know. I just sent you a tweet from Elon Musk who said that there's a lot more to these Epstein files to be released or something like that along the lines
Yeah.
of how this came about. Now, I don't know.
We could
Do
put
you
this on the
picture-
screen too.
Right. So now when I say that, do you picture, so Elon Musk, we have emails with him reaching out to Jeffrey Epstein asking when the wildest parties are, trying to go there. And I think it was 2012 and 2013, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So we have instances where now Elon Musk's implicated, Donald Trump and Eric Trump, I believe, were also named, allegedly, of course. But so my question to you is this a sick and twisted fantasy? Like, do you think that George Bush Sr. enjoyed seeing that, enjoyed being involved in that? Or do you think that this is an even higher power that is using this in the blackmail instance, in the do this for me, like the top of the top? Who is the tippy top? Because to me, in that instance, you have Donald Trump and Elon Musk money. And then, as crazy it is to sound, it's like the tier below that is like Jay-Z and Pusha-T, Like, there's tiers to it with the money and all this stuff. Like, the wealth is the Musks and the Gates and the Trumps of the world. Is that who calling the shots? Or is there somebody with even more money and even more power than them that are calling these shots, that are making all of this possible?
I mean, you have to think about it like this. Jay-Z, by the way, is a billionaire. I don't think Pusha-T's worth that
No,
much.
I don't think
mean,
so either.
obviously, he's worth much more than I
Yeah,
am, no
I know
doubt.
Jay-Z's a billion. Well, so it should almost go Pusha T, Jay-Z, and then everybody else, because I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that Jay-Z has Bill Gates money or Trump money or Musk money. Obviously, Musk is at the very,
No.
very top.
Jay-Z's like worth $2 billion, I think, might be a little bit shy of $2 billion. But man, I don't know, because all these people, the Musks of the world, the Bill Gates of the world, the Bezos of the world, their wealth is public.
Jay-Z's 2.5
Like
bill.
Okay, but their wealth is all public. You know what I mean? The people that make all the decisions, when you read books, and I haven't done that much research on the topic, but their wealth is not, like, they don't want to be
You
seen.
want to know what Pusha T's approximate net worth is?
What's it, like 5 million?
10. Like, in the grand scheme of things, when you're talking, I mean, obviously, yeah, you just fucking brush
What a
away
peasant!
Yeah,
What a
yeah,
peasant!
really, I'm sure he lives paycheck to paycheck. But like,
But you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just these people, from like the limited knowledge that I have, like, they really want to be kept like under wraps. They don't want to be seen.
oh,
The
of course,
Rothschilds of the world,
course.
like all that generational wealth, like stuff like that. And I don't know, man. They influence everything through policy, and I think they have a vested interest of keeping America in gridlock and keeping us fighting each other.
Oh well, 100%. Because who benefits from Americans fighting each other?
Not
media
us.
companies,
Right.
political
It's the
policies, political
Yes.
sides. Sorry, I burped. Political sides.
No, you're good.
Democrats, they are basically at this point probably think that they're winning, that their argument's winning. Republicans think it's winning. So,
Right.
I mean, who
And they're doing
who
this. The
benefits from-
Democrats are doing this.
right? So
Go ahead, I'm
no, you're
sorry.
fine. Who benefits from both sides being able to fight with each other? The media companies, the companies like X, the companies like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. Everybody's pushing diversion, so more people are going to tune in. You keep making these
Yeah.
fucking. I mean, it's just, dude, it's disgusting. I mean, obviously we know
It
who
is.
owns the media companies, but like that's what I'm saying. Like you just said, the Rothschilds of the Rothschilds of the world. Yes, the Rothschilds of the world, the people that don't like to be seen, the people that try to fly under the radar. I mean, how much money does Larry Ellison have? And before, and
much.
anybody watching before 10 years ago, how many of you knew who Larry Ellison was?
You didn't know who he
No.
was. You knew that Oracle Arena was the company that sponsored the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
That's all. That's all you knew. You didn't. If you knew his name, you were just like well read.
Right.
It's very sad, man. And I don't know. Again, it's all alleged. You don't
course.
know what's real, what's fake.
course.
But it's just very infuriating when these people are the sickest people in society.
Right.
I mean, going back to the Roman Empire, right? You had senators they had young boys, and that was just their thing, and it was wrong. But like, it hasn't changed that much, really. And how do these people get to power? Is the power that corrupts them, or are they attracted to the power prior to getting to these positions of power? That's my question.
I would say it's the power that corrupts them. Quite frankly, when you add somebody, and put yourself in the mindset of be Pusha T, hanging out with Jay-Z.
Pusha T. Bro, Prince Andrew.
Well, okay, but you know what I'm saying? On that scale
Yeah,
of things,
yeah.
when you go,
Yeah.
because as of the people that we just named, I mean, Bush probably didn't have a crazy net worth like that. Neither did Pusha T. So when you're hanging out with people like that and you're seeing the money, the power, the pull that you have, is Pusha T not likely to want that? But also,
I don't know.
Also, what are you willing to do for it, man? I mean, it's just the corruptness of this country that continues to unfold. It's disgusting. But the problem is, Luke, I don't want to spend the whole time talking about this, and I think they want. I believe everything happens for a reason, especially in our government. Leaks don't happen all that often without Pentagon clearance, and even that, like whistleblowers. I mean, you got to be careful who you trust. You got to be careful about these documents that you trust. Is this not being pushed out to try to get, attention away from what's happening in Minnesota?
I don't know, man. And we can go down the rabbit hole here. And maybe you would like to go
Well,
down
I
the
actually
rabbit hole.
wanted to talk more about your position on what happened, because the last time we had a podcast was the day that Renee Good died, I believe,
Right.
or
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
So we hadn't even really touched on Alex Pretty.
Right.
So I want to hear your side of things, because when, when Renee Good died, we made that podcast. The next day, we got the body cam footage, or the camera footage of her pulling away and almost hitting the officer. He was a little closer than, the other angle made it seem. So I'm not saying it's a justified death, but I mean, I think the last time I spoke more like a libertarian, saying that nobody deserved to die. But quite frankly, I'm in a position where, and I said this on X, every single one of these deaths that happen, getting involved with ICE, it's all one common denominator. It's been white liberals sticking up for illegal immigrants that are taking advantage of our system and making our own people poor by doing it. And so when you really put yourself in that perspective, it's really hard to side with them. It's really hard to side with Alex Pretty now that, I saw that first video that came out when he was shot, and you sit here and you think, man, maybe they are the Gestapo. Maybe they are just out there poorly trained and executing people and whatever. And it's like, but he had a loaded firearm at a peaceful protest. He had extra magazines loaded in his car. I am all for protecting yourself and concealed carrying. Don't get me wrong. But why are we allowing this guy to impede federal officers, smack out taillights of their vehicle, cussing them, telling them to attack you, spit on them? Like, the problem is right now, I don't know where you're at. I'm going to let you chime in here in a minute, but why is it now okay to obstruct justice, obstruct the law? Like, you're obstructing federal officers. That is the exact same thing as you pulling up to a traffic stop and spitting on the cop. Do you not think you're going to go to prison? But they just think that ICE is that ICE is brand new, and they've never been city to city like this. So they're not real federal agents. They're not, in power or what. Like, I try to put myself in the mindset of these people that are protesting, and I just go, well, Alex Pretty's parents came out and said that he was hanging out with the wrong crowd and missing work, and wasn't at all the person that the media kind of tried to portray him as. So why is the media twisting this,
Well, because you pointed out earlier, they have a vested interest of us fighting each other. Like, the more that this happens, the more that people tune in. It's very clear to say that, and you put it very brilliantly. Something that we do have to understand, though, it's like you said, we keep making martyrs of these people. Mm-hmm. Alex Pretty, okay, these people shouldn't have died, but also, why? Why are you going up to a federal agent, any federal agent whatsoever? You're kicking the car.
Right.
You're kicking the car. I don't know about you. I don't know, but my parents, even though I'm white, okay, which the left loves to say, right, oh, white everything, white privilege.
Right.
My parents, they taught me, when you get pulled over by a cop, just keep your hands on the wheel. Just keep your hands on the wheel, because you never know what can happen. Okay? I was taught to respect law enforcement. I don't agree with law enforcement a lot lately, because they don't really exactly defend and enforce the law. But still, come on, man. Mm-hmm. Who in their right mind, and it's not just Alex Pretty, okay? Obviously, he didn't deserve to die, but at the same point, you're kind of asking for it when you attack an ICE officer like that, and you attack a car, you kick the taillight. I'm getting passionate. But why on God's green earth do you think, and you see these TikTok videos, right? You see these leftists. They're taking the babies. They're taking the year-old babies to the protest. They're saying, I'm going to show my son, who can't even comprehend words yet. I'm going to show my son what it's all about, fighting for this country. These women, they're all going out there. They think it's fun. They think it's games. They think they're in a fucking superhero movie. Right. They're like, we're going to topple the government. Right. It's like, Are you sure?
Do you know what you're getting
Are
yourself
you sure?
into?
Do you understand? And these people, I mean, Renee Good, God bless her, but fuck, she drove over from like 2 other states. She wasn't even living in Minnesota, I don't think, at the time. And you're a mother. You're a mother. You have your children back home. Don't you care about, maybe dying and leaving your children without their biological mother?
Right.
Granted, they have another one because she's a fucking lesbian, but still, regardless, like who in their right mind thinks I'm going to go and potentially throw myself in harm's way for this cause?
Right.
I just
This
never
cause
understood that.
doesn't even benefit me. I mean, that's my biggest problem.
What the fuck?
That's my biggest problem
Yes.
is there's a reason that ICE is on the streets. We're not sitting here. It's because of all you leftists who allowed Joe Biden to sit in office for 4 years and keep the border wide open. 10 million illegal immigrants. And now we're also sitting here.
They're saying it might be 20, by the way. We don't know the technical numbers.
And we're also, Luke, you and I are sitting here saying, what the fuck are these deportation numbers?
Nothing.
Ridiculously low.
Nothing.
Ridiculously low. We're shooting to get less people deported than Obama did. So what is ICE doing on the streets? Is this all just a show to rile up the crowds, to continue the divide? I mean, like you said, I don't at all think that we should make a martyr of these people, of the Alex Pretties and the Renee Goods of the world, because they should stay the fuck home. Don't go out and protest. I mean, how many people had to die? How many U.S. citizens died because of illegal foreigners in the last 2 years?
Right, and they didn't give a fuck about them.
But then
They didn't give a fuck about anybody.
But then the minute the same people that are trying to get those people out, the ones that killed Americans, leftists are going out and protesting them. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, a lot of it is mental illness. You have to understand, too, because a lot of these people on the left, the majority of them, I mean, you look at the stats, they don't have religion. So they don't have, like, a purpose. And a lot of them don't have families. So, like, this is their purpose. This is their thing. Right. And, like, they're all fucking in, bro, because a lot of these people, not to, like, be a dick, but a lot of these people are losers. And it's very important to point that out. And so because this is their big thing, like, they're going to give their all to this thing.
Right. And that's what
they believe they're fighting for good.
That's what I don't even understand. Like, okay, an hour away from us, there was an ICE protest, marching up and down the streets.
Right.
Where are your jobs? Like you just said, these people are losers. Well, you just said these people are losers. It doesn't. It shows right here, point blank period, the end, when it's a Tuesday afternoon and you're not at fucking work.
Dude, a lot of these people, that is their job.
Well,
they do get paid.
They do get paid to go around.
They do.
Correct.
Right. They do get paid to do this shit. I remember where we live. We're not going to dox ourselves, but where we live, I remember 2020, during the Floyd riots, they came here. Now, it wasn't harmful, but there were lots of people. Hundreds of people. There might have been 1,000 people.
Bust in.
I told my brother, let's go drive down. Let's go drive down. We'll see it from a distance. Wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I would have seen this shit. I don't care. So, we go down, and sure as shit, right in front of the jail where they were all protesting, big tour bus comes in. Huge tour bus comes in, like fancy, whatever. And people start getting out.
In droves.
Protest.
In droves.
Yeah. I remember seeing this shit. And the people that were protesting, they were banging on the bus door. I was like, what is going on? And then you start to read that these people do get bussed in. And people are paid to do this shit. And this is all organized. And rarely is it organic. If it's organic, whatever. But like, I saw the Minneapolis streets 2 days ago. Thousands of people, and I was like, there's no way. Right. And then I'm watching videos of people that actually live in the high rises, and they're saying, hey, I've been watching this, and they're videoing it. These people all came in on buses.
Right.
So that's another thing. And then, as a caveat, we've been talking about this, but I haven't told anybody. So I'm working in a political campaign in our state, and I'm talking to a guy that knows a lot. And he's telling me about the left, and he's telling me about these ICE protests. And bro, the right, for everybody watching right now, if you're on the right and you think you're going to win the Civil War, I think you are very mistaken. The left actually has infrastructure where they're preparing for this. There's already an insurgency going on and nobody understands because the Trump government is just, for whatever reason, they're very disorganized. The left, what they're able to do is they can track ICE agents. So they're able to track them where they live, where they're staying at a hotel. They can even track their cars and their phone numbers. Like that's how really specific this is. So they're able to see where ICE is. You can look it up. It's not that hard. They're able to go and they're able to protest wherever. And a lot of these people are participating in violent acts like Alex Preddy, for example. They feel emboldened to go fight for their country.
Yeah.
But really it's about them winning. And that's what I'm saying. They all have like paramilitary organizations already in place. Like, and what this guy described to me, it's not just Antifa. Like, there's different factions, and it's important to point that out. But they're all armed. And again, they don't have any core beliefs. There's not like Christianity. A Christian person, somebody that's adhering to Christianity, or at least trying to adhere to Christianity, they're not going to try to fight the ICE agents, right? Because at the end of the day, they're human beings.
Right.
At the end of the day, like, they want to preserve something for their kids and for their grandkids. The problem is a lot of these people don't fucking have kids.
And don't aspire to have
So
anything of what we want.
Right. So they don't feel the need to preserve what we have and protect what we have. But again, you see these people. You see the Black Panther Party started up again, and now they're armed. They're walking around armed. And again, fine, whatever. It is what it is. But you have to understand, these groups are more prepared. And the right doesn't know, and the right doesn't care, and the right isn't fighting this insurgency, and like, people don't talk about it.
How scared does that make you?
A little bit terrified, because it can kind of come for anybody, really. You see people like Kathy Griffin, and yeah, I'm gonna point this out actually, because I think it's important. I covered this yesterday on the show that I did, just a solo show, and I haven't even made it a clip yet, but I think it's very important. This is Kathy Griffin. Now, if you know Kathy Griffin, she's a comedian, or maybe once was a comedian. She doesn't really make anybody laugh now.
The one who held the bloody Donald Trump head up.
Correct. She was calling people to participate. This is really freaky. Participate in something radical. So I'm just going to play this for you. And she's telling people like to find MAGA and make a list. Here we go.
Those of you that are awake, that see what's going on, what do you think the solution is? I think the murder of Renee Good, the murder of Alex Preddy, putting children on planes and taking them to detention centers, which are really concentration camps. Call it what it is. They're concentration camps in the United States of America in 2026. So take that in, and I know you don't want to participate in something radical. I don't either. I wish I could just go on the road and do my funny stories about celebrities or making fun of politicians, but not even have to acknowledge this. But it is happening all around you. It's happening around you. I live in Los Angeles. It's happening at targeted places in Los Angeles. And I think it's time to talk to the neighbors in real life. It's time to talk to your neighbors, find out if they're MAGA or not. Sorry, but we have to know who's on our team and start to plan. Is there a way we can do something as a community? When I hear from my followers in Minnesota, they describe a very sophisticated channel of a system of things that they do to help one another. And they use encrypted apps. And like I said, everyone has whistles and honks their horn, but they are going to...
What did I tell you? The left has infrastructure, very sophisticated. And this is what Kathy Griffin is talking about. She's saying you need to make a list of who's MAGA. You need to make a list. Now, she goes on to say that if people have American flags hanging in the front of their houses, to make a list. Meaning, like, because they're patriotic, that means they're, like, MAGA and they're for all these ICE protest, or the ICE enforcement, rather. And what I have to say is, folks, I don't think you want civil war. You don't understand what happens when you have civil war. I don't want to fight Americans, number one. I don't want to kill my fellow Americans. Are you kidding me? We already had that, and it was very bloody, and it was very bad. I don't want to kill people. I don't want to have to fight my fellow countrymen, okay? So that's just there. Let me just leave that as an aside. But come on, man. We have these laws for a reason. If you come into the country illegally, you are breaking a law. And what pisses us all off, Gen Z especially, because they're taking our potential homes, what pisses us all off is that the Trump administration is not enforcing that law. He's cowering to the left. Imagine a country that has a law and they just don't enforce it for whatever the fucking reason. In this case, they're scared of the left. And the left now is very emboldened, and they view this as racist and xenophobic and all of that. But come on. I really don't want to fight my fellow countrymen. I don't want this to happen. Do we understand what happens if the government is toppled? Do we understand what happens if the whole system that we have is like fucked? Like, this could get really bad. This could get, my contact in the political campaign that I've been talking to, he said it could get to the point where these people feel so emboldened, they come to your city and they know who you are and what you support. I mean, you can look at voting records. It's not that hard.
Right.
And they go shoot up your house and light it on fire with everybody inside. Like that's the point that it could get to,
Right.
man. Human beings are very barbaric. That's the thing. We're comfortable. We right now, we're living in a fucking, I don't even know what you would call it. It's a miracle that we have the society that we have, because human nature, we at our core are still animals. Like, if you take away a couple of things, you take away easy access to food, you take away easy access to water, like, we go back to prehistoric times. It doesn't take that much. We are living in an anomaly. Everybody's so comfortable. I do not want to get to the point where it's The Walking Dead again. You know?
Well, and
I don't want to get to the, yeah, go
like
ahead.
you had just said, it all comes back to the usual suspects on the left, the violence on the left, the lack of religion on the left. At some point, people stop looking at people as people. You know, the left
Right.
is going to stop looking at you and I as humans and start looking at you and I as enemies, because they will judge the American flags hanging outside of our house and not even realize that, you know, we don't look at these ICE protests like that. But guess what? We also aren't supporting what Trump's doing currently.
Right.
And that's where it's
And here's
almost
the
like
thing, bro.
the left and the radical right are kind of sort of aligned in who we.
The horseshoe theory.
Right.
It's literally the horseshoe theory.
Right.
Yeah.
It's literally, we're pretty much aligned on almost everything, but we're also not going to sit here and allow you to attack federal officials or try to keep illegal immigrants here and bash our, I don't want to say bash our party, but bash what we hold high in respect. You know, we talk about the difference between the left and the right. You and I put having a family high on a pedestal, leaving something here for our kids and grandkids on a pedestal. And I feel like the left almost only, they think about themselves and they think about their cause. And when I say that, I don't mean like, because obviously, yeah, they want to protect migrants or whatever, and they get up in arms when someone like George Floyd, Renee Good, Alex Pretty, you know, die or get killed by law enforcement. But they're thinking about the right now. No one thinks about the future. I feel like our party specifically thinks about the future. And we also think about the past. We think about the 60s and the 70s, and we go, wow, you know, everybody they appreciated going out. You know, we appreciated the mom and pop stores. We appreciated our cars and all these things. And it's like the left they think about themselves, because when they die, they don't care what happens to America in 60, 100, 200 years. And it's like, this is how a country falls. Like you just said, what kind of country do you know that doesn't enforce their own laws?
Pussies. Just like us.
Or
I mean,
countries
I also
that aren't
think too,
strong. Non-strong countries. And it's like, America is supposed to be the strongest, the greatest nation in the world. And are we really, when we have all this infighting between you and I? You know, it's like we need to come together and realize what's worth fighting over. Like we just discussed in the beginning of the show. Sure, we're both disgusted at Donald Trump. We all saw the Epstein files that were released, and, you know, allegedly all these big names. It's like, okay, let's go after them. Don't go after your neighbor for having an American flag. You know, I'm not calling for an insurrection. All I'm saying is just take a broad look at what's going on. And don't take it from face value. You know, you have to.
And I understand. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Keep cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm going in agreement with you. Like, you have to be careful. And I understand where the left is coming from too. I mean, at the end of the day, these are human beings, and you shouldn't be hurting anybody. I understand that completely. But at the end of the day, if these people came here illegal, if they broke the law, I mean, there are studies. These people are taking up jobs, housing. They're making everything more expensive just by the measure of just being here.
Right.
It's just how it is. and again, they're not the only at fault. They're not the only party at fault, but they're a big majority of it. If those people are fighting you and they say, I don't want to be deported,
Right.
how do you exactly deport them when they still are breaking the law?
Right.
I don't know. But in addition to that, bro, I know you have to go soon. But, like, why are we going to Minnesota doing this? Like,
Well, the problem
if you go to
is,
the
and
red
that's
states,
what I was just going to tell you, though. I mean, I don't know what the illegal immigrant. They're in Minnesota because of everything that happened with the fraud and the Somali
Right.
daycares and all that stuff. So here's what I'm saying. I think regardless of where you go, even if it's a red state, unless you're going to like Texas or Arkansas, like I don't know. I think even Ohio, who voted red this year, you that's their next place, you know. And you don't think a city like Cleveland or Columbus is going to be up in arms? You don't think that they're going to come out in droves as well, or
They are, no doubt. But like,
It's a city
Go
thing.
to the places, yeah. But go to the places where these people are. Like, if you really wanted to do it, I know for a fact there are millions of undocumented immigrants in Texas.
right?
What do you think? Now, here's why they're not going there. By the way, the Republicans are in bed with big agriculture. What does big agriculture do? They maximize their profits by hiring these migrants, these illegal
They allow
immigrants,
65,000.
for the cheap labor.
You see that 65,000
For
more
the cheap
H-1Bs?
labor. Yes. They love that, dude. So don't get me wrong. The left, definitely at fault. But the right is at fault too.
Right.
And again, it's going to be another cycle of just wanting to keep this issue there.
Right.
They don't want to solve it. You heard Eric Prince, and he said we could just go after their bank accounts.
I did see that.
They're not citizens. We could just freeze their bank accounts, and then they'd be forced to leave.
Would they be though?
That would work.
Would they be though? That's my other problem.
If-
I don't know.
I don't know.
Luke.
I think that'd be-
You look the same.
I think that would be something.
Correct. Or are they going to?
I'm all for big
or-
ideas.
or-
I'm all for
I am
big
too.
ideas.
I am too. The only thing I'll say to that is that, you know, like you just said, when you take easy access to food away from people, they go crazy. So if you take money away from them, they're now foreign migrants living on the streets, no food, no water. It's freezing cold. You know, what are they going to do? Is that when they
here's the
turn to
thing.
violence then?
But here's the thing: the left has done that against the right already. When you talk about debanking,
Oh, well,
with
yeah.
Trump, with Fuentes, everybody. I'm just saying, you have these tools, and the left has used it prior, right? Why not actually use power for your means? I don't know. I know you have to go, but that's what I want to leave you with.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think my closing remarks will be after we just read the Epstein file thing with, you know, high-ranking Republican leaners, and then we just talked about what's going on with Democrats. It might be time to say down with the two-party system.
Yeah, bro, and that's what I was talking about with my contact in the Putsch campaign. That's what it is. He's saying like the UK has like 5-6 different factions, and they're all different political parties, so they're not camouflaging like who they are. And that's another thing, coalition building. Like, why should we have to coalition build? We should have groups that are actually representing the core beliefs that they're claiming to represent.
Right.
That's all.
Right. Well, brother, it was great. I will. We'll record one of these during the week again when something else pops off or when we get some more closure on these Epstein files. I appreciate you having me on as always.
No problem. I appreciate you for coming
Absolutely.
on, man. I miss you.
Absolutely. I miss you as well.
All right, everybody, make sure to comment, give the video a like, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to the Shide Effect as well. Very good channel. A lot of stuff coming out there as well. But anyway, thank you all. Yes, thank you all for watching. We appreciate you. Bye-bye.